Hello and welcome to week 1, lesson 1 of Fusion. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to the user interface of Fusion 360, the CAD software that we will be using to design objects. So to start, let's look at the top left corner. This is your application bar. Over here, if you go under File, this is where you would start a new design, save your projects and designs, export and share. The second important part of the application bar is the edit, where there are the undo and redo buttons, and cut, copy, and paste, though I'm not sure if you'll be using these as much as undo and redo. Next, let's go on to the toolbar. Right here, where it says design, create, modify, etc. This is your toolbar. This has a lot of different tools that you can use that you will be using throughout your Fusion class to create different objects, different sketches, as your instructors will be assisting you. Next, let's look at the browser. This is right here. It says browser, as you can see on my screen. The browser is where all your designs, sketches, and everything that you have open will be stored. So right now we don't have anything, which is why the browser doesn't have much. But if you'll see later, as we design more sketches, they will start appearing under here, and I will show you that. Next, let's look at the timeline. So the timeline is on the bottom left of your screen, where it has the play marker, and right now on my screen you don't see much because we haven't started working on anything, but this is where your whole history for all of your sketches and the different aspects of your design will appear, and it will make it easier for you to go back and edit things. Lastly, let's look at the navigation bar, which is right here on the bottom center of my screen, and we will explore these features more in detail later, but I will go ahead and explain display settings to you today so that you can see the different ways you can view your sketch after we're done making it. So first, today to begin, we'll be starting by designing a regular hexagon. A regular hexagon would be a hexagon 6-sided figure with all sides that are equal in length and all interior angles that are congruent as well. So to start, let's go under File, and if you click on Save, let's start by saving a new design that we're going to be making. I'm going to call this First Lesson, because it's the first lesson of your class. And if you go under Location and you press this little arrow right here, you see Projects, and you can go under each project. So let's start a new project. I'm going to call it Robotics for All. I know I have another one already made, but this is for demonstration purposes, and you don't have that since I created it a few days ago. So if I say Enter, now I have a new project called Robotics for All. If I go in that folder, in that project, you shouldn't see any folders or any files. Let's create a new folder under the Robotics for All project, and let's call it First Week. This is where you can store your homework and your lessons from first week. You press Enter, that folder is created. If you double click on the folder, now you're inside the folder, and it should be empty because it's a new folder. You didn't have anything in it. And if you press Save, your first lesson should be saved inside the First Week folder in your Robotics for All project. As you can see, it says First Lesson on the top here, so you know you're on the right design. Next part that I would like to explore with you is right here, the cube. As you can see, if I click and drag on the cube, I can change the angle from which we see this plane. So you're pivoting the cube to see it from different angles. If you see it from the bottom, that's how it looks. If you see it from the top, that's how it looks. I think the cube will make more sense once you have a design to look at. So first, if you suppose go on the top face, if you click on top, now you're looking at it from the top view. And we can rotate it so that the X is the red line and the green line here is the Y-axis. It's a normal coordinate plane. If you go on your toolbar and you see in the create part, you can create a new sketch by either going down to the drop-down menu and saying create sketch, or clicking this icon up here. So I clicked create sketch, and you can click on this to select this as your coordinate plane. So now let's start by making a regular hexagon. So we'll make the hexagon using lines. So if you click on the line icon right here, if you go under create, as you can see here, there are multiple different options. There's line, there's polygon, This might make it easier to make a regular hexagon, but today we will use lines so that I can demonstrate different dimensions and angles that you can set. So here we have, as you can see, there's like a little plus sign when I click on the line icon. And we're going to go ahead and place the plus on the origin because that's where we want to start our design. If you click here, you can see that after clicking, when you drag without clicking, when you're just like moving your cursor around, you can see that you can place a line almost anywhere on the plane. So what we'll do is we'll first place a line and we'll make it 25 millimeters and we'll place it right there. So if you click it, you can see that it's 90 degrees from the x-axis, as it says. If you press tab, you can navigate between the 25 millimeters and 90 degrees. So this is exactly what we want it to be. So if we click right here, that line becomes black. That means it's solidified. And then now the line function is still selected and you can still place a line anywhere else. The interior angles of a regular hexagon are all 120 degrees, and since our first line was 25 millimeters, we would have to make all the other lines 25 millimeters as well. So if you, as you can see, the millimeters part is highlighted. So without clicking anything, if you press 25 and you press tab, that already becomes 25 millimeters, which is what we want it to be. Second, now as you can see, the degrees are highlighted. If you press 120, press tab, now the degrees are also locked at 120 degrees. Now this is the line that we want it to be, so we can go ahead and click again, and now we can create a new line. So now let's do the same thing again. We kind of roughly want it to be here, but let's go ahead and enter 25. You can see that change, and that gets locked. You can see the lock sign. And then now you're on degrees, and press 120 because it's 120 degrees from the previous line. And if you press tab, that's also locked. And you can go ahead and click because now we have two lines. And then if you like go ahead and explore again, you can again place more lines. So now let's once again make sure we have 25 millimeters. I'm going to type in 25 just to make sure that gets locked properly. And it already says 120. If it doesn't say 120, you can go ahead and like say 120 by like typing it like that, and you press tab again, and that is your line. So if you click again, you can go ahead and make another line. Let's do the same thing, 25, 120, tab, and you have that line. You click, that's it. If you press the escape key, now when you move your cursor, you don't see the lines because you've escaped from the line function. But as you can see, we still need one more line to finish this hexagon. So if you right click and you say repeat line, you can go back to the last point that you placed. It would be a square if you're on the correct spot. And then you click on there. And once you click, you can see that you can extend the line. And then right here, if you go back and click on the origin, before we click, I would like to show you the dimensions one more time. It is 25 millimeters. The reason it says 150 is because this point is 150 degrees from your x-axis, if you look at it from that side. So that's why it says 150, because you're no longer looking at it from the last line because we exited out of the line function from the last line. So now you're back to looking at it from the x-axis. If that confuses you, you don't need to think about it. But the reason it says 150 is because you're no longer comparing it to the last line, but the x-axis itself. So if you click there, you should see that your figure becomes shaded in. The reason it's shaded in is because now this hexagon is a closed profile shape. What this means is it has no open ends. It is a polygon where it's all closed. This is what you want it to be. You want all the objects, all the sketches that you make to get shaded in, because this is the only way you can go ahead and extrude them, as I'll demonstrate in a little bit. And a lot of functions that you need to do with the sketches you can't do if they're not closed. Another thing that I want to go over is that if you go under Create, go to the very bottom and you click on Sketch Dimension, which you can also get here by just simply clicking D. And then you go ahead and click on the line of which the dimension you want to change. So suppose we click on the line right here, and then we extend out and we click again. you can edit the length of the line. Now we want to keep it 25 millimeters, so I will not be editing it right now, but just for future reference, if you want to change the length of a certain line later on, you can always go on the dimension, click on the line, and you can change it there. So you can just press enter, and that's exactly what you want it to be. So this is a closed profile shape, and we have a regular hexagon with 120-degree interior angles on each side. All right. And now the next thing we'll do is explore the cube. Now that we have a sketch, there's a lot more we can do with the cube and like a lot more that you can see. So right now you know that you're on the top view. So now if you click and drag it a little bit lower, this is what it looks like from the front. Now if you like watch it completely from the front, it looks like a line because there's nothing 3D on it. So it's just a line from the side. You can look at it from different angles. And yeah, so that's the function of the cube. Like you can spin it around, see how it looks from different angles. Next, what we'll do is we'll extrude this shape. What it means is that we'll make it 3D by adding a vertical dimension to it since it's on the top. So now if you go here, press create. If you exit out, first press finish sketch so that the sketch is finalized, you can see. And if you go to create and you say extrude, you can also get here by simply clicking E. And then you can see that there's a little arrow. And you can go ahead and either drag the arrow down or drag it up. I'm going to go ahead and drag it down. So once you drag it, again, play around with the cube. You can kind of see that you have it like that. Right now the sketch that we made is on the top plane. So if we go at the bottom plane, you can kind of see how it looks from there. And so you have your sketch like that. Going lower. If we changed it to higher, if you take this arrow and you drag it to the top instead, you can see that it comes on top of the plane. Now here, let's adjust the distance that we want our extrusion to be. So let's go ahead and make it 25 again, because that's how long each of our sides are. If you press enter, that gets locked. So again, play with the cube, see how it looks from different angles. You can pivot the cube. And this is a shape that we just created by extruding. So now what I want to do is if you go to the navigation bar, I said that we'd explore the display settings. If you click on display settings, you can go to visual style. You can see that you can see it in different ways. So let's click wireframe. You only see the edges when you click wireframe. If you click wireframe with hidden edges, the hidden edges get dashed that are in the back. Lastly, if you do shaded with hidden edges, again, the hidden edges are dashed. So again, you can spin the cube around and look at it from different angles. Just play around with that. Okay. One last thing that I want to go ahead and do is if you go under create and you say extrude again, and you suppose click on this side. This is the side that we want to extrude. And then you pull. You're pulling it in this direction. You see that that face gets extruded. That means it gets extended. It becomes 3D in this direction. And let's go ahead and fix the dimension. Let's make it 50 millimeters. If you press enter, that gets locked. And you can see that this is what the hexagon looks like now. But now let's go back down to the timeline. And you can see each of the edits. If you click around, you can see the specific part that you made as in your history. So first you have the sketch that we made, the hexagon. Second, you have the extrusion to the top, and then you have the sideways extrusion of the face that we pulled. Now suppose we decide that we want to keep it a hexagon and we don't want the side extrusion. Right here, come to the part in your timeline where the extrusion, like the sideways extrusion, gets highlighted. If you right click on that, there is an option to delete. If you press that, now you're back to your hexagon. So that is where the timeline comes in use. If you want to go ahead and edit your sketch, you can come here, you can select the sketch, and you can work with it. So the timeline allows you to go back and edit individual parts of your design. Now, if you look in your browser under sketches, sketch 1 is what our sketch is called. is right here. If you click on the eye, you can make it visible or invisible. So that's our main sketch on the bottom. If you click on bodies, this is your body, and that gets highlighted. So this is where the browser has everything that you have opened right here. Now let's quickly just explore one more thing. If you do file, new design, or simply click on the plus that appeared here, you have a new design. You can go ahead and save it as first lesson part 2 or however you want. We've already explored the saving functions. If you click on top face one more time and you do sketch, you select the face right here, and then you do create, and you go on, suppose, rectangle, 2-point rectangle. You can go ahead and extend it. You can choose your dimensions. You can make a square, a rectangle by simply doing that. Another thing you can do, if you go ahead and want to delete the sketch and make something else, is I just undoed what I did. So I pressed Command Z for that. You can also go to edit and undo. You can also do create. You can create a circle or a polygon like we did before. So these are functions you can explore during class. And you can press finish sketch once you're done. Let's go back to our original sketch. And this is what we created. Well, those are all the functions and user interface things that I wanted to cover in the first lesson. So congratulations. This is all for the first lesson.